Hello again, and for today, I am going to be coming at you with the video primarily on the writer's strike. Now, I did record this earlier, but the audio was shot, so I've had to re-record this one. Yeah, sorry that it didn't come out a little sooner, but them's the problems. Sending it through like 20 different audio filters still didn't clean it up just right, so yeah, bear with me. I guess I'm rusty now. I'm an old man getting back on the horse. So, as far as my previous commentary is concerned on the last time I checked in on the Writers Guild of America when they created the journalist section of the WGA East, things have not really been going well for writers. Writers are noticing that there are less rooms to be filled, there are less opportunities knocking, and if you're just starting out as a writer, you realize, hey, maybe this whole fucking guild thing's a racket, but that's not what's going on right now. Everyone is genuinely fighting over the big AI question. Is AI going to replace the ability to write? So far, it seems to be able to pitch pretty well, but I do not think it will fully get there. I think it will make pitches, and writers of certain experience levels, good ones, will have to take those pitches and turn shit into gold. And I think that's the future of the industry. And if you want to cry about it, well, then tough titty. You should have fucking not been a hack for the past 20 years and let journalists into the fucking writers unions who, should not be in the WGA whatsoever. I mean, as I did the commentary earlier in my YouTube and commentary career, yeah, it was a stupid idea to let the journalists in who, are part of these tech companies that constantly have shrinking profits, shrinking bottom lines, shrinking margins, who cook the books on their actual viewership for the ad revenue to flow in. And now that the ad revenue is pretty much gone on most of these websites, yeah, they're all fucked. And they think, by paying dues and being a member of the DSA, I'm gonna have stability and the ability to fight for my role in the workplace, man. And clearly it's not the fucking case. These people are just genuinely stupid, and now they have made a huge bed of shit for themselves to lie in. We are now 3 months into the writer's strike. The actors are probably close to being a month in. There was deliberations and talks that were held recently that once again went nowhere because that's just how this fucking gay industry works. And so that's the current state of things as of this commentary. Full disclosure, I did go on the Hard Bastards live call-in show and talked with him about this, and he gave the standard answer of blow up the system, destroy Hollywood, build again. I agree. I'm not gonna be shy when I say that whatever we got right now isn't fucking working. If someone like me who was creative, had the ability to go in the industry and then saw blood on the wall, was like, yeah, this isn't stable, guys, and if you think this is stable, batten down the hatches and find a secondary gig, because this is not gonna fucking work. Well, here we are, 3 months into a fucking writer's strike. All the work dried up, so I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, on that, I did discuss a certain somebody that I went to film school with, Cody Ziegler, writer of She-Hulk and Spider-Punk. No, the Spider-Punk was alright that he did, but not like the greatest, but definitely better than like what most of Marvel puts out. And this isn't my bias coming in. I always knew he was a good writer. It's just now he is also a fucking communist nut. Bro literally was on fucking Instagram the other day going like, oh yeah, the Communist Manifesto and Das Kapital are good books. I'm like, brother, you are a fucking almost middle-aged fat communist who works in Hollywood. Oh my god, when he was in that article bitching about his $396 of residuals. It's like, hey, that's $396 of residuals that most of his fucking peers, including me, have not made off of anything, off of any of our labor since fucking graduating. So, yeah, congratulations. You've made $396 more than the rest of us off of stuff you already made. $396, once again, more than the rest of us. And then, dude, it's like, dude, you know that residuals are a thing that only exists in, like, the entertainment industry? Like, no one really makes that kind of money off of their labor once their labor is complete. Like, this is not, like, a communist concept. This is a totally capitalist concept. And then fucking 3, dude, like, again, you're fucking delusional. You just started out, okay? Like, maybe come back in a year and it's still at $396, be like, yeah, this is kind of fucked up. But then again, it's all based on, are they watching? Are they really watching She-Hulk? And that is kind of currently what the residuals fight is over, is when it comes to streaming, is that, like, they didn't really get it right the first time with the 2007 strike. They got at least something. My man over here can get $396. That's, again, $396 more than most of his peers. But yeah, I mean, if this was like 10 years, if this was the 2007 strike, people would have given a shit. But no one cares about the fucking strike anymore. And you know why? It's because writers and actors have totally ostracized the audience. And by ostracizing the audience, when it comes to important shit like, oh, is AI gonna replace my job? Oh, is fucking my writing career gonna grant me any residuals in the future? Like, this is the kind of stuff that people used to care about when you would go on strike. And now striking seems to be, like Stephen Amell said, like just a giant fucking childish exercise. I don't know if he really said it like that, but he definitely insinuated that striking goes nowhere. And I honestly agree. I think it's a fucking old world industrial revolution era tactic that hasn't worked in a fucking minute. I've been to I've driven by construction sites where they bring out the rat, and yeah, usually they get that shit squared away in a day because project managers do not like strikes and like to resolve them as fast as they can. But this is a wholly different industry. This is Hollywood, and they have backlogs now. They don't fucking need you. So yeah, no one cares. They're also out of fucking touch. I mean, the out of touch thing, it really baffles me. It boggles my mind how fucking out of touch these people are, especially when it comes to the third portion of why they're striking, which is like the new rules and standards, like, that are essentially like some DEI shit. Like, oh, we have to have minimum 10 writers per show, even if the show is like a total of 5 writers, and some of the dumber shit like that. Like, brother, if the AI thing is the biggest fight right now, sacrifice this piece of shit fucking third request. It's not worth it right now to fight over the small things. But again, they're out of touch. They don't know what it's like to really be on the ground, fucking waiting for a job to come through because, oh yeah, the company you work for doesn't have any work right now in the area. But if you move over to this way, they do. So it's like, yeah, you may think you know economic realities. It's like, maybe actually participate in the economy, and then you'll see what economic reality looks like. Why your money is so fucking inflated. It's because of the way you vote, you fucking libtard. Anywho, yeah, let's talk about someone who I think is totally out of touch, and that is Sean Gunn. And why do I single out Sean Gunn? Well, it's because he's been going on television talking about my residuals. These studio heads. Your brother James, pervert James, is the fucking head of DC Films. You are not just an actor anymore. You are the brother of a studio executive. You know what that means? You're tied in the system. You know what that means? Oh, when James has a bit part for you, you're always going to get work. So you're not just an actor anymore, Sean. You're the brother of a studio executive, and you should recognize that privilege, another person who I think is, again, totally out of fucking touch, Fran Drescher, the C or the chair of SAG-AFTRA, the Screen Actors Guild, Film Actors Guild, who, again, she could have been good in my books if she decided to send all the actors on strike during the vaccine mandate, which she wanted to do, but none of the fucking members thought it was worth fighting over. I mean, oh my fucking god. And then she cries. And it's like, we provided things that were beneficial to the people during the pandemic. It's like, yeah, but you could have also fought for the biggest fight that we had going at the time, which was the vaccine mandates. You could have said, fuck Joe Biden. You could have been with us. The racist, the red-pilled motherfuckers that knew that vaccine was literal poison, and then niggas like Jamie Foxx wouldn't have fucking huge medical problems that put him in hiding because, oh my god, if they saw his face totally disfigured by the vaccine, bro, it would have been game the fuck over for the vaccine. So yeah, Fran Drescher, you could have been somebody. You could have been a contender. Instead, you chose not to, and now that you're crying on television about the fucking AI, likeness rights and residuals from AI, oh yeah, you could have had people give a shit by standing up to that fucking vaccine. And now here you are weeping. And yeah, another out of touch retard, Oh, yo little Donnie, yo little bye-bye, Ron Perlman. Mr. I fucking peed in my hands to go shake Harvey Weinstein's hand. Mr. Yo little Donnie, I'm gonna take a shit on the floor at Trump Tower. No one buys this fucking tough guy shit anymore, man. As my voice cracks, no one buys this fucking tough guy act. Oh, I'm gonna kick that anonymous studio executive's ass because he's like, we're gonna choose to have this strike go on until fucking they run out of money. And it's like, retard, Ron Perlman, retard, you do realize that guy was just being flippant, and that if you run out of money, then they are out of money too. Like, that's the thing that I don't understand about this whole strike situation, is that, like, a lot of these actors and writers and production people, they don't realize how fudged and cooked the books are when it comes to a lot of internet shit and streaming services. It's like, when they hide the numbers, it's for the sole purpose of lying to the shareholders. They'll go, oh, record-breaking Stranger Things season. It's like, yeah, but it broke the record by like 0.1 million. Not even like a full million. So, like, what kind of records are you really breaking? It's artificial inflation, to boost the stock prices. And, get more investors. And I guess the other funny actress thing I want to mention was Tatiana Maslany going off on Bob Iger. But, like, the only really funny thing about it is that it will probably bite her in the ass and, reduce She-Hulk's role. Not only to just, like, the bare minimum that it currently is, which is nothing, but, like, when they try to bring her in to, like, I don't know, an Avengers movie, she'll have maybe, like, 5 minutes of screen time max. So that shit will be really funny. And, yeah, other things to talk about. I guess I should just do the update here since it's, Writers Guild related. That digital writers union that was created is now just totally absorbed into WGA East. If you look up digitalwritersunion.org, you get a splash page to buy anabolic steroids, which to me is like the funniest part of all of that shit. Like, yeah, you can look in the Wayback Machine at Digital Writers Union and see that, like, oh yeah, it was functional for a time and then COVID happened and then they just kind of shuttered it into WGA East. So yeah, I really find it funny, man. I really find the Writers Guild fucking funny. I mean, they've had a shit decade, doing dumb shit like, yeah, let's let the journalists in, let's fucking do this, that, the other. And yeah, so when it comes to the strike in itself, and you see like videos of Adam Conover and that fucking that quote unquote King of the Hill screenwriter Michael Jamin, who I have been watching King of the Hill on Adult Swim. I have not seen his name in the fucking credits once lately, and that's weird for a guy that's his big credit when you go on IMDb. But yeah, the two of them have been going like, so why is the strike really important? And it's like, let me mansplain it to you. I'm Adam Conover, and I'm really retarded, and I'm not only retarded, but I'm a huge faggot. And like, yeah, dude, again, no one cares. You people have fucking ostracized the audience literally every single chance you get. And yeah, now you are in the bed of shit that you have made for yourselves. And speaking of other funny things that happen at these Writers Guild protests for striking, Hassan Piker joined in the beginning, and he has only donated money since because he is a slave to his streaming streaming content. And when he was out there picketing, everyone's favorite pseudo-Israeli fucking whack job content creator Matan Even confronted him and was like, we love landlords, and made Hassan fucking walk away, which was, the only thing more beautiful is if Matan went up to him and was like, fight Sam Hyde, you coward. Oh my god, I would have fucking cried. But yeah, that shit was funny. And so, yeah, before I really wrap it up, I just want to say that, like, when it comes to the consumption of content, which, film, radio, television, all of that shit is now officially considered content. They used to be the big winners in what I coined in a older video, the war for attention. And now that we got video games, anime, and manga, and fucking comic books, and fucking everything else, besides the backlog of already existing movies, film, radio, audio drama, content, they gotta realize that, like, this is not a long-term solution to, fucking strike for a better tomorrow. Like, people's attention is so minuscule nowadays that, yeah, they can go elsewhere, and they are going elsewhere, and that should be a huge concern to this industry. But it isn't, because once again, no one cares about them, they're out of touch, and yeah, they don't really know, their own head from their ass. So, yeah, in conclusion, I can see this strike going towards the end of the year. I think it will. I think it will be really funny. Billy Porter, that weird fucking gay guy that constantly wears dresses, was crying about how he had to sell his home because of the strike. And it's like, well, you're the one living in fucking Beverly Hills. And oh yeah, that's another thing before I really wrap up. Writers can write anywhere now. I don't really think there is a reason for them to be living in LA. And yet, one of the big reasons for them to be striking like this is because they want their wages to increase because they live in fucking LA. Like, they don't need to show up anymore. They can fucking Zoom call in like pretty much the rest of the country has. So I don't know what the fuck they're really bitching about when it comes to fucking, oh, we need our wages increased because we live in LA because we accidentally voted for all these bad economic policies, and it's like, yeah, you guys are fucking stupid. So yeah, in conclusion, this writer strike, actor strike, is heading Hollywood towards full collapse. I mean, I know I dwell in a lot of collapsitarian shit, but I really think this could be it for Hollywood. In the Big Nerdrotic video he did on the strike, which I totally agree with. It's like, yeah, we're at a certain point where this industry could totally keel over and nobody would give a shit. And to me, that's really funny because it's like, yeah, I love making movies. I love writing movies. I love watching movies and consuming them with my eyeballs. Like, this is the thing I lived and breathed for so long in my life. And while it sucks to see, this former titan of an industry disappear, it's fucking great for people like me who are looking to break in and make a statement and cause a scene. And Yeah, so I think it's good for me, bad for the studio. So to all of the idiot actors and writers striking, well, you better fucking tread lightly because you pedophiles are in for a rude awakening.